in Chicago, but I'm from Chicago, and I stayed in Chicago, played football for a school in Chicago. But living downtown is nothing to compare to. Like, people say they can leave school and then go somewhere else. Fuck that shit. Downtown Chicago is cold because you get international bitches, regular bitches, thoughts, nerdy hoes, just girls everywhere. Then there's smart ass girls. Like, you gonna meet Afrocentric Colombian chicks that's gonna blow your mind, and you gonna be like, oh man, this bitch gonna make me change my life.
You can be massively independent. Actually, you don't really have much of a choice but to be massively independent. You have to learn the buses, you have to learn the cabs, you have to learn the trains if you want to go anywhere. There's never not a way for you to get from one place to the next. So it's like, if I hear that there's a party in Uptown, or if I have to do a shoot up there, or if I have work to do down by my mom's house in Beverly, then I can get there. And it's so much different than living in the suburbs, because in the suburbs you have to have a car. If you don't have a car, bruh, you're not going anywhere. There's no taxi, there's no bus, there's no Uber. Like, there is nothing, and there's no way you can get anywhere. It's not walkable. So being downtown, it enables you to be able to do and be wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do.
I was looking at, your traditional state schools like NIU, SIU, SIUC, but I've always been that creative kid who never really fit into anywhere. And I noticed something when I went downtown about Columbia students. No one tried to fit in.
This has less to do with Columbia and more to do with racist police. I got stopped on my way to class, on the corner where the music building is on Michigan. Awkward, just super awkward, especially since I got stopped on my own campus. I'm like, if I belong anywhere, I belong here where I go to school. And profiling is still a serious problem, even when you get to college, even when you get to a diverse college, because Columbia has a lot of black students. And the fact that you see me and you don't think college student, you think drug dealer in front of a building where I go to school, bit of a problem.
I was in the Marine Corps before I came here, and it was just this regimented, just very strict lifestyle I was living. And it was based around conformity. I wanted to get the same haircuts, wear the same clothes. And I could have gone to Berkeley to be really good at audio, but I wanted to come here because it was just such a dichotomy, such contrast to what I was living before. And I wanted to just go from A to Z overnight and see what happened.
I really enjoy downtown a lot, but sometimes I do get scared. Downtown's supposed to be considered the most safest place in Chicago. As far as where the police officers are and all the businesses, but I've seen some crazy shit downtown.
I'm posting great. I'm just playing that.
Like that. Shit like that,
It's a lot of that out here.
Then after that.
Right.
So this one day, I was riding home, and right before I get on the highway, I pulled up at the red light, and this other car pulled up on me at the red light, and they just kind of was pumping their music. They were just turned in the car. So I'm just like, oh, okay, they lit. I'm just chilling though. I'm relaxing. I'm finna go home or whatever. So meanwhile, I'm just looking around and stuff, not really paying attention. I look back over at the dudes in the car, and they signaling me to roll the window down. And I'm just like, fuck you out of here. I ain't finna roll no damn window down. I'm just like, shit. Hell no. So I'm just sitting there, chilling or whatever. So then all of a sudden, they steady just roll the window down. So I'm like, alright. We've been sitting at this light for damn near 2 minutes already. So I'm like, shit. Alright, I'm gonna roll it down. So I roll the window down. I'm like, what's up? He like, yo, what you on? It's the Mexican dude. Tattoos and shit. He look like a hood ass Mexican dude. So I was like, oh shit. I just started thinking like, man, they ass better pull the gun out, shoot at my ass or something. Cause he like, where you about to go? I'm like, shit, to the crib. He's like, where that's at? I'm like, man, it's that way somewhere. I ain't about to tell you where I live at. He's like, nah, but where's it at? What you about to do? What you about to get on? I'm like, man, I'm chilling. I don't know what you on, but I'm chilling. He was like, hey, just wanna let you know, you want sexy ass motherfucker. What the hell? What the fuck, man? Hood ass Mexican nigga talking about you want sexy ass motherfucker. So I'm just confused as hell. I'm just like, thanks. Thank you. Like, no, seriously. You want sexy ass motherfucker. And I'm just like, gee, this light still ain't fucking changed. So then the light changed and he pulled it off. The craziest part about it is, it was another nigga in the car, black dude. They ass look like some straight motherfuckers. He just watching them talking about you want sexy motherfucker. Like, man, y'all ass both gay. It's just crazy, man. Fuck you. Cut that.
Get it? No clothes? Hey, we put Maddie brother in the trunk and shit, boy. Close door. Somebody close the door. Yeah.
He opened the trunk. He like, y'all good? Nigga, you good?
Fuck, man.
Downtown. I mean, you are downtown, but it's like you just don't know who you may see. It's not like being in Carbondale or in Mizzou and you just running into the same people every day. You can see Terrence Howard or Common and Kanye, and it's just really the reason I'm down here at Columbia, to meet people and network and to be in the mix. So being in school in Chicago is the best.
Chicago's pretty dope, man. It's give and take, man. Honestly, it can be really cool. It can be really lame. Like I said, it's give and take, you know. So it just all depends on what circles you rolling in, who you mess with, you know, that kind of stuff. But I guess it's give and take.
Hey, that's our car. Hey, stop. For real. Here we come. Damn, cool man, hurry up. Where the fuck you at? Oh, they left. Hey, move, get in the car, drive.
Tell them go on Wabash. It's free.
Hey, they tryna still take his shit. Hey, they bogus as hell. They better move. Hey, remember that talk?
Y'all like are in LA or wherever, we should do some things together. We gotta make it out of this Chicago area. It's too damn. It's cold. Talking about make it out. It's cold. We can't even walk down the street without seeing Uggs. Unrightful Uggs. Stop, man. What in the world? They put fur on sandals. We can walk. It's just like the most beautiful city. Look around. Have you looked around Chicago? Like all like tall buildings and stuff. Like you don't get this like anywhere else. Even people like that's not from Chicago when they come here, they'll tell you too like this is like one of the most beautiful cities ever.
But no, honestly, like it was so worth it moving out here, meeting her, and you know the people on campus are crazy. But like at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter because you make friends and you make connections.
And your hoodie small as hell, and your calves big as hell. Your calves fat as hell, boy. Like you got on 3 pair of sweatpants underneath your jeans. Your big thigh ass, boy. You like one of them steroid chickens that they be having at fucking churches, boy. With your big thigh. Boy.
Campus, big, like it's just so big, and it's like it's kind of crazy because it kind of describes the school as being like diverse and being huge, and it's like so much to see at Columbia. Like I remember my first week in college, I was like so thirsty. I just walked around like the whole downtown, and it's like you would look up and see a Columbia sign on the building. You'd be like, oh, that's a Columbia building. I wonder what building that is.
For everybody who's familiar with the UC back in 2012 was the hive. It was like the ultimate corner to hang out on. People sold drugs in front of the 7-Eleven. People just posted up, talk shit, you know what I'm saying, smoke, do whatever they do, pass by, go to class, you know what I'm saying. Females be out there all the time. The UC, I feel like, is now compared to 2012 is kind of dry, but I say that to say that in that area you see a little bit of everything. You see, you know, the college students, you know, depending on what their majors are, you know, they look a little bit different versus the Chicagoans, because, you know, Chicagoans, they wear Robins and Trues and dreadheads, you know, depending on where they're from, you know what I'm saying, Chicago. Suburb kids don't really get with all that unless they're fake, you know, hood rats or whatever. But you know, you get a little bit of everything over there in that area, you know what I'm saying? Versus the college students that aren't from Chicago, they, you know, they look lost, like they don't know where they're going.
You got your theater geeks, you got your music kids, you got your fashion people, but I mean shit, everybody at Columbia think they fashionable, you know what I mean? If you hit, I don't know, it's just so many, you don't have a really, at Columbia you're gonna have to accept what it is, you know what I mean? If you got any type of gay phobia, you're gonna have to get over that shit, because gay people cool, you know what I mean? And that's just you being ignorant and not knowing. So that's why I like Columbia. It's gonna make you break out of who you are and polish you up on who you are. Polish you up on your skills and make you, you know what I mean, go that distance.
They're just more into the art. Columbia is like primarily art, so they're more focused on creative. A lot of people outside of Columbia are more practical. More like worried about their money and, you know what I'm saying, like bills and stuff. And I feel like at Columbia, people are just so focused on the art, their major, and studies.
Now,
from the church headshot collection over here. They got Sister Simpkins over there. We ain't gonna disturb them, but she do look like an evangelist. But anyway, come on.
It didn't just happen one time. Me and this person, I'm not gonna say her name, but we used to go downtown Chicago to the Target. I ain't gonna say which Target. So we used to go and like we'll be like, okay, we're to go in here and just basically have a picnic, an in-store picnic. So we'll go grab some of that, go grab some ice cream, some cookies, whatever we wanted. Find an empty aisle where nobody was at. Usually the electronics section. Nobody fuck with electronics. But we'll just sit down and eat, have a picnic.
Like
Nobody ever came and said anything to us. We just said, we'll be on the ground with our phones, chilling, just chilling, laid back, eating.
I've always been very fond of the city and very fond of the city landscape. Growing up, I was a military child, so we moved around every 3 years. And the last place I was at, I was in Okinawa, Japan, which is a small southern prefecture of actual Japan. It wasn't Tokyo, but it was Japan. So when I came here from there, it was different. I've been here before because both my parents are from here, so I was kind of familiar with the area. But actually living here is a totally different story. Okinawa is very quiet, peaceful, calm, and here it's very noisy and it's kind of busy. Not as busy as New York, but it's just a different pace, and the people are different. The way people dress are different. People's attitudes, like the whole character of Chicago is different than living in Okinawa or any other place that I've lived in.
Okay, so we was in the same IDT class for dance, but we really didn't talk to each other like that. Then there was my friend from back home, Danny, and then being her roommate, we had one time a dance show one night. So afterwards, we was like, all right, we're gonna go to Wingstop. So we go to Wingstop.
Just now.
Wingstop right there, promo. Anyway, so we at Wingstop, and we eating. And I found out how crazy this bitch really is. It was a fucking gnat flying. She's like, oh, that's my cousin. I was like, oh, hell no, I gotta go. I was not ready to go. But then we just started hanging out with her.
Ever since then, I swear, like, this is my sister. And
bitch, I'm your mama.
Oh, she's my mom too. But like, it's because of Columbia. Because of Columbia? You guys brought us together. I just want to be myself. And the llamas.
I've never had
the llamas.
Next question.
Technically, I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. I grew up in Blue Island, but then again, I moved so many times I don't even know where I'm from. But I call Chicago home because I feel like I can do anything when I'm downtown specifically. That's where my creativity thrives at. You don't even need to hop on a bus or a train, but if you needed to, just knowing and having that comfort that I could and go to a whole different neighborhood and create something else or learn something else new. When I was in high school, I felt so stifled, if you will. And now that I'm down here, I have a Venture U Pass. I can go, I can learn, I can create on my own. I don't need a classroom to teach me anything anymore. And so that's why I call Chicago home. I recently just visited LA, and their downtown area is not what our downtown area is like at all. And so like, I'm proud to be from Chicago, a place where I can go and get a hot dog on one corner and get some falafels over here and get some gyros over here and like get some hot chips and some cheese with some meat in it, like, you know, so we can get all different types of things being in this one city, and I didn't even have to travel that far. So that's why Chicago is home.
I like that for when the city is beautiful and there's always something going on. Even though a lot of places close early, you still see people out. You still see people finding their own fun and out having a good time. There's never a dull moment in downtown Chicago. I feel like Chicago is a hustling city. Everyone's out there trying to make it get their own. I feel like it's a cleaner New York. No offense to anyone who's from New York, but it's not odd to see a lady walking around with purple hair. For one, I see more people with blue hair than brown hair. Like, everyone's their own person. They're out trying to get whatever they're out here trying to get theirs.
Coming to Columbia was a very big transition, you know, very transitional as to coming from a university, whereas the diversity is different as well. The diversity at SIUC and at community colleges like Kennedy King or Harold Washington, like those different types of fields and realms of diversity is very different than Columbia, because Columbia is all about art. These universities is all about like you wanting to pass and that's it, and then you owe a school some money. I feel like every school is like that, but the transitional jump went from I met more and more people that was like from around the world instead of the state of Illinois. I met a couple people. I met people come from Australia to Berlin to the United Kingdom, instead of learning from someone that's from a suburb like Marion, Illinois, or Edwardsville, Illinois, or even to Champaign or Harvey. Like, it's a very big, diverse difference and a big transitional jump. So, like, I feel like that is very big coming from a university to an art school that's downtown, a prestigious art school as well, as to where people worldwide beg their parents to go to school and they want to come to Chicago because they see something great. It's a very great outlook as well. Big transition.
Many crazy nights. Like, I remember, I think it was sophomore year, we were on the west side. I ain't had no business being over there. My mama always praying for me, so I knew she was praying for me that night. Oh my goodness, my feet was hurting. I had on these heels and the train had stopped running, and so I'm like, yes, come on, for my mama's prayers coming through right now, because the train stopped running. These random people, they asked if we needed a ride, and usually, you know, you don't take rides, but I felt like these were good people, so they gave us a ride all the way back to the loop, and we were over there on like 20 something in California, and so it took us like an hour to get out the house. But the craziest, that would be one of the craziest nights that I had. And I don't know, college in general is just a crazy night. Shout out to my Infinite folks, y'all already know what I'm talking about. I don't know, just staying up, vibing, walking around Chicago my freshman year, my first night, got my guest privileges taken the 4th day of school. That was the craziest night. My creative posse had 14 people in it. Shout out to all of y'all, still rocking with y'all. But every night and every day can be a crazy night. I know that sounds pretty broad, but I never know what's gonna happen to me, and I never know what my day is gonna be. So I literally just live life in the moment. It's very spontaneous.
Okay, so my craziest college story was the first, maybe the last time, when I tried edibles. Now, I tried edibles, I wouldn't say it was one time, but the first time that I tried it. First time I tried it was here. My friend had someone in their class, this is Columbia for you, someone in their class who made their own handmade edibles, baking wise. So he was making brownies. So we were like, okay, we want some, we're gonna try some on weekend. So me and a group of my friends at the place where I stayed at downtown, We had got them together. It was 2 that we had. Yeah, it was 2 that we had. It was 4 of us. So we each split it in half. And we had the half. And then he had put in another one for free. So basically 3 for the price of 2. So we were hungry and they were good. Like he can bake. Like we're like, okay, this guy can bake. So we just went ahead and split the last one. We didn't feel anything, of course. So we're sitting there mad. We're sitting on the bed like, what's not happening? 2 hours go by. We're still upset. Like nothing's happening. So we're just like, okay, he didn't put anything in this. He just got us for our money. We just spent like $20 on some brownies. So all I can remember was everybody like was in the corner by the door. We were all about to go to the store to get some liquor because we couldn't feel anything from the brownie. And I literally try and get up. I stand up, look at my feet, and I fall to the floor. When I tell you I was done, I was done. And then I'm looking up at my friends, and they're like swaying side to side. Everybody's just automatically starts tweaking. It's like it was the brownie had like a time frame on it. It was like a ticking time bomb when all of us were gonna start. It was crazy. And one of my friends, she's like a prude, I call it. She don't really go out there that much. She was with us and she was praying like, oh my God, you're gonna die. Like, I just want to please thank God for the life that I live. She's in the bed, like on the corner. The guy I was dating with at the time was like holding me, like borderline crying, like what is going on? It was very, very trippy. We didn't make it out to the store. We were so scared to go to the liquor store. We made it out to the hallway and we came back like, no, we were probably just gonna fall out on the elevator and not even remember what happened. And that was the first time I did edibles, and that was the first and the last time I'll ever do brownies again because I've never done it.
So this one time, me and my friend Cannon, we went to Taco Burrito King off of Chicago, off the Chicago Red Line, and this dude was in there with his friend, and they had the girls with them. And pretty much, you know, he was yelling at her, blah, blah, blah. So me and my friend were eating food, and he's like, bro, we should do something about it. And I was like, nah, we're not gonna do nothing about it. And he's like, no, we should definitely do something about it. So we went back and forth a little bit. And then we went to talk to them or whatever. And then the guys came up and, he was so treating her and she was like, no, thank you. And I was like, guess what? We're not playing Captain Safe, no bitches again. And that was the end of this thing. That was a pretty crazy night because it led to some more Captain Save-A-Hole scenarios that was just too much to get into detail for. It was a girl on the red line that needed saving. There was some girls outside the UC that needed saving. Hell of hoes that night, and not enough captains. So yeah.
Thanksgiving thigh ass, boy.
This a real ass chicken. This a real ass
That
chicken.
bitch tall as hell, boy. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Bro, your ass look like a Slim Jim. Fuck this shit all about.
That shit ain't funny, boy.
You see?
Your face look like an armrest, boy.
What the hell?
Your face like this.
Why are my bras?
Fuck you talking about, boy.
Your face look like this right here, boy.
Right.
They real, bro.
That's not funny.
You never seen a picture on Twitter?
I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired talking to your ass, boy. Your shit is not funny. Right.
Yeah.
If you've been on the red line, then you probably know who I'm talking about. But there's a homeless man that's blind that walks like this, and his eyes roll to the back of his head, and he has a stick, and he walks around like this. And I forget his name. I want to say it's like Ed or something like that. And he has a cup in his hand, stick in his hand. He's like, "Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed. I am homeless. My name is Ed. I am homeless. My name is Ed. I am homeless." And I'm not making fun of him, but if you really pay attention and you stay on the same cart as him long enough, he starts to repeat himself, and every time he repeats himself, his voice gets deeper and deeper, like he's getting mad at you or something. if he don't get no money. If he get the money, he'll, be on and off real quick. But if he don't, he'll be like, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ed. I am homeless. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ed. I am homeless. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ed. I am homeless. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is..." Don't give him no money. He ain't homeless. I gotta eat too.
It's expensive as fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why I dropped out. And just I felt like in the field that I was going through, which was music business, I felt like I wasn't really learning much that I hadn't already learned like on my own and shit. So, but I think what I can say about Columbia being downtown is that it's a network of like individuals that can help you get to where you want to be in life. You know what I'm saying? How I've been able to be like so successful in this realm of Chicago is really the network, the people I've met at being in Columbia and shit, being around the campus and the parties that I attend, the clubs, and just being out and about and shit.
Columbia is pretty great as far as the people that I've met so far. I'm a sophomore here now. This is my second year, and I've met so many wonderful people. I guess I've met more people that don't go to Columbia, but Columbia it depends on what you take from Columbia. There is probably 90% of Columbia students are weird and strange as hell. But there's a good 5% that are normal and cool that you can really kick it with and get a lot from. There's so many different majors at Columbia that can really help you get to where you want to go. I'm a fashion business major myself, and there are so many people in media and graphic design and photography and film that can really help me get somewhere. So at Columbia, it all depends on what you take from it, where you're gonna get. There's a lot of people that'll say oh, if you go to Columbia, it's a waste of time. You're not gonna get anything from it. The teachers suck, the resources suck. But I personally don't believe that's true. I feel if you're networking, if you're getting out there, if you're putting yourself out there, then you're definitely going to find people. You're definitely going to find the people that you need to be with to get to where you want to be. And just living downtown in general is amazing. I'm from Chicago, but I'm from the north side of Chicago, so I was honestly unfamiliar with downtown until last year. When I started to come to school down here, when I moved down here, that's when I started to know the city that I'm actually in. I love it. It's never boring. It's never boring. There's always stuff to do, always people to see. But as far as living on an actual campus, it's a little harder because I feel you always have to look your best because you are downtown and you never know who you might run into. So I feel you always have to look your best and present yourself in the best way compared to living on a regular campus where you can go to school or class in sweatpants and not care what you look like. But here at Columbia, since we are going to school in the heart of the city, you kind of have to look your best all the time.
We got the Donald Trump time. Donald Trump time. I'm a bitch when I do my business. $300 watch. USPA. This is premium cotton. This is premium cotton. $50 cotton. $60 pants. These silly ass balls now. athletic shit.
A stereotypical Columbia student. Weird dude with crazy ass hair, crazy clothes, and look crazy.
Reporting live from Chicago and New Orleans University Center. We're here today with Eamon from Primo. How are ya?
I'm Gucci, you know
It's
how.
like a turn.
He is not Gucci.
This is the last day. We're gonna ask you some questions. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, ask me all the questions you want.
So, question. Why do you wear a hat all year long?
Forever, my lady.
First of all, I can't do it.
We got even without the hat.
Doesn't matter.
It's the rare moment.
That nigga like
shit.
boy. I got the wig.
Look at this hat for the first fucking time.
The fuck out.
Last day of college in Eamon.
Man, okay. Man, it's just so much you can see downtown, man. It's like coming from a college party and you getting off the train, or you on the train with all your friends and you just see the funny stuff that go on. Like one night I know we was coming from some party. We was on like the Blue Line or something. And this lady was like sitting in the cut. But she was like, I don't know. She was just sitting in the cut. So we minding our own business. And this lady just came out of nowhere and started singing, like, just came like hitting straight opera on our ass, like on the train. So we like, okay, she's going crazy right now. So we chilling. We get like 3 stops away, and we like stop paying her attention. She disappeared. So we like, okay, maybe she got off the train. So we getting off at Jackson. So we like walking towards the dorms, and we like walking down State Street. The same lady is like walking with like, I don't know, she just walking creepy. It looked like a scary movie, but we like all together, so we not scared. We just like, okay, this is creepy. And she just was like, and it's like, we like, whoa. But it was like funny, like y'all had to be there. I know I sound like a damn lame right now, but it was like funny, like it was like, yo, that was just the creepiest, funniest lady I ever seen in my life.
And them 2 lions by the Field Museum, yo. If you hop on the motherfuckers, I promise to God, man. Matter of fact, we can go. We can get drunk at like 3 a.m., yo. Smoke a blunt. We gonna climb that motherfucker. I'm kind of short, so it's gonna take me a second, but we can have one of the tall homies climbing that motherfucker. And I swear to God, you gotta mount that motherfucker, right? And that bitch gonna roar. I'll put it on everything I love. That bitch gonna roar like 3 times. On everything I love. I promise you, Bird, I promise you that shit's real, yo. I promise you. That's one wild thing I did too in Chicago, for sure. I don't want to, that's some wild shit.
The people in Chicago, it's so many different people. It depends on what side of the city you're at. The people downtown, I think they don't have the same perspective as people who may have grew up on the south side or the west side, or people who not from here, like students. You know, there are a lot of homeless people downtown, and we have students that come from out of town, and they'll like give their last, or they'll give their money, and then you have people like me who I just walk past and act like I didn't see any of that. And like, that's sad that you know, a lot of us have been conditioned to that. But the people who are from Chicago, we understand the struggle. Some of us open up about it, some of us don't. I personally don't open up and give my opinion as much as I should, or I don't broadcast that, because if I'm not going to change it, then why even bother really speaking about it? But that's something that I would like to do. Once I start opening my mouth more, then I'm going to change more. But if you have an opinion and you're not going to act on it, you might as well just be quiet. So I feel like Chicago is definitely a working city, and we talk that talk and walk the walk too. And so if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Whether it be kill, or whether it be steal, or whether it be change, if you talk it, you will do it if you're here in Chicago.
Stereotypical Columbia student. That girl with the red hair, with the pink and the blue and the green and.
Come on here. They got hella hair colors.
Hella, I'm saying like mixed together.
At
You
the
can
same
tell.
time.
They try to judge you based on how you look, how you dress, and you're like.
How they dress here?
Basically, anybody will come up to me in Jayla and be like, "Oh, we could tell you're a Columbia student." And we'll be like, "How you know?" They'd be like, "The way you just look like one." Like how do you
whatever that means.
I mean, I can understand when they like say you look artistic or you just straight up look like a Columbia student because you got all this shit in your head.
You said artistic or autistic?
Artistic.
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 You look autistic. Not you, her.
Bitch.
When I came here, I was in Detroit and then I moved to Grand Rapids. Then I came to Chicago and like I was always around like a bunch of white people, so I thought Chicago was low key gonna be like that. And I mean, in Detroit I was around black people, but when I got to Grand Rapids, that kind of changed a little bit. And Chicago was just so many black people that's like, you know what I mean, like doing something and like we really out here. I like that shit. Like it could be, you know what I mean, like a whole nother shit, black renaissance out here with our generation. We got what it takes to really get it cracking, and then Detroit is the right place to go to. With building the land, that's all I want Chicago motherfuckers to see. Like shit, we get enough money out here, we go to Detroit, start our own little black Wall Street, all that shit. You know what I mean? But our generation got it. Columbia, Chicago is busting out here though. It's busting out here. That's all I can say. Y'all got the concerts, y'all got the venues, y'all got everything. You know what I mean? This is a stop on everybody trip. Everybody loves Chicago. Y'all got the big ass beam. You know what I mean? Who ain't been to that big ass beam? I got the skyline. Y'all shit. Y'all city is it's the shit. I can't lie.
You can tell when somebody go to Columbia as to where when you just in the field, like you're in the area of the campus between Congress Street to
Roosevelt or Congress to Jackson, the DePaul area, Robert Morris, Columbia, Roosevelt area, you can tell the difference between each student. Columbia art students, like a lot of their art students, like the students wear like dark clothing, like, or I say gothically or like fashionable sensely. It's just very different. If you see someone dressing different, then you know that they go to Columbia. If you see someone dressing as business type, they are either at the DePaul Law School or they're at Robert Morris. Or I would say Roosevelt even better because Roosevelt offers more business and marketing programs. So you're gonna catch someone that's in a more preppable or business attire. As to where Robert Morris, you will see like more urban clothing or street clothing or like just like very original appearances, like, you know what I'm saying? Or like a regular Chicago member would look, you know what I'm saying, an urban street person. You can tell the difference between a person that goes to Columbia because of their style, appearance, and uniqueness with their difference of their talents as well, because there's people at Columbia that does major things, people that make video games that you wouldn't even think. It would be like someone, you could see a little white boy on the street with a skateboard, and he's probably going to do, probably going to create a video game or something, to where you'll see someone with a suit on and you think they're going to present presentation in class, or they're probably trying to make the next law at their law school, you know what I'm saying, better yet, approval as well. Big difference between students that go to Columbia and that don't go to Columbia, because it's a lot of people that hang around, that say they go to Columbia. And once you see someone that's at Columbia, you see them actually working and transitioning the better for themselves.
You know, I don't think I have a clique. I don't think anybody could pinpoint the people that I hang out with. Like, you can't be like, oh, you know, that's Vicky right there. She hang out with so-and-so. Yeah, you might have seen me with them, but I'll tell you this, I can go to a party alone and go there and feel comfortable because I hang and I bounce around with different people. Not saying like I'm a clique hopper or anything like that, but I feel like you shouldn't limit yourself. I have people who I know I can go to for certain situations, but again, I'm not limiting myself. I don't want anybody to have me associated with anyone, because many people don't associate themselves with good people, and so I always want to be in good company. But my clique, they have my best interests in mind, but I'm never tied down though to one person, to one friend. Although I got my ride or dies though, everybody that I choose to hang out with is for a reason. So I'm not just hanging out with, or phony kicking it, as we call it here in the Chi. Everybody that I hang out with, they're good people.
I'm from the north side, but I grew up in the burbs. And me growing up in the burbs, it's dry as fuck out there. And like, I like the hustle and bustle, like how busy it is. It's always something to get into. It may not be as busting as you want it to, but there's always something to get into. I like to shop, you know what I'm saying? I'm into fashion, and I'm into music, and I like going to events and stuff like that. So with that being said, who wants to be cooped up in the crib in the burbs when you can be downtown getting it cracking, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a busybody a little bit, so I like to get into shit, you feel me? That's what I like about downtown. Same thing with the north side, you know what I'm saying? It's always a lot to do in Chicago, especially. In the summertime, all the high school students like to hang out on Chicago Avenue, and and they like to hang out on in front of the McDonald's. And when I'm coming up the escalator, I be looking all flea and whatnot, you know how I do. Motherfuckers be eyeballing me like they want to swing, but they don't ever swing, you know what I'm saying? A lot of young African Americans from the hood, like little hood rats or whatever. Not all African Americans from the hood are hood rats, but they be coming downtown just causing trouble. I don't like that. It makes us look crazy. I don't like that shit. Cause then white folks be looking at me like I'm finna rob them. I might. Free guap.